That it is me who is speaking first tonight. I'm Andrew Mitchell, I'm the former Deputy Foreign Secretary, and I'm here tonight to represent the Conservative Party. And I have to go to another engagement shortly. So it is my very, very happy task to be the warm-up act to introduce Mr. Speaker tonight. Mr. Speaker has an unbelievably heavy schedule, but he has managed to include this most important function in it, and indeed to host in this beautiful house tonight's event. So I know you'll want to join with me even before he speaks in thanking him very much indeed for that. Now, I just want to say a very few words, and they are these. At this time, when the international community is deeply fragmented, and we have seen the tearing up of what is effectively 80 years of internationalism, reverting, if you like, to something that is more reminiscent of the world before 1914 and the First World War. And for those of us who are internationalists, when I think about the Kurdish community, I think about a number of things. The first thing I think about is the remarkable work that Prime Minister John Major did in imposing the no-fly zone, which many in this room will remember. And that was down to the British government trying to make certain that the necessary protection was given. I think of the Kurdish community in the West Midlands. In my own constituency, indeed the shop next door to my office is a Kurdish barber shop in the royal town of Sutton Coldfield, which we are all very proud of. The owner is always offering to cut my hair, but I must acquit him of this. He was not responsible for this haircut. We have a very rich relationship with the Kurdish community throughout the West Midlands, for which we are extremely grateful. And this is a subject which I've always been extremely concerned about. I spoke in a debate specifically addressing Kurdish issues back in 2022 when I returned to government and to the Foreign Office. We were talking about the importance of religious freedom, and we focused, as you would expect, on Iran, Iraq, and Syria, and the importance of stopping and preventing religious and ethnic persecution. So thank you very much indeed for tonight. One of the great things at the moment, I hope you will all agree and appreciate, is that at this time when the international community is so fragmented, there is unity of view. The view inside the Foreign Office under the Labour ministers who are there now is the same as the view in the Foreign Office under the Conservative ministers, I and my colleagues, before the general election. And I hope that you will draw some strength from the fact that there is all-party unity of view, not just in the Commons, but between the two houses, the House of Lords and the House of Commons, in support of the Kurdish community. And so now my warm-up act is complete, and it is with the greatest pleasure that I introduce your host, Mr. Speaker, to come and address us.
Still being recorded, don't worry. Can I first of all say, honourable colleagues, my lords, ladies, gentlemen, distinguished guests. Firstly, a warm welcome to Speaker's House. It's wonderful to see so many members of UK's Kurdish community here today to celebrate the auspicious occasion of Newroz, the Kurdish New Year.
order, but that's okay. Right, so ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Speaker of the House and our esteemed sponsors, thank you everybody for hosting us tonight and for your unwavering support in making this celebration possible. My name is Arya Tamer, and it's a true honor to stand before you today to mark the celebration of Newroz, a festival of renewal, of resilience and unity. Allow me to share a little of my own journey, which I see as a reflection of the spirit of Newroz. 9 years ago, I arrived in the UK as a Kurdish refugee from Syria, seeking safety and the chance to build a better future. Like so many others, I carried with me a deep determination to overcome challenges and a hope for a brighter tomorrow. Today, I'm a fully qualified doctor working in the NHS, and I'm incredibly proud to serve this country that's allowed me to pursue my dreams and to contribute to this society that welcomed me with open arms. Thank you. My journey has been one of renewal, of leaving behind hardship and embracing new beginnings. And in many ways, this mirrors the essence of Newroz. Newroz marks the first day of spring and the Kurdish New Year. It's a fresh start for millions around the world, and especially the Kurdish community. But Newroz is more than just the change of a season or the start of a new year. It's the celebration of hope, of love, peace, harmony, of solidarity and freedom. For centuries, Newroz has brought together many people, reminding us that no matter what the obstacles we face, we always have the strength to rise again, to rebuild our lives and to thrive. And here in the UK, the British-Kurdish community embodies this same spirit, contributing, preserving and enriching this diverse fabric of this country. From business, medicine, arts to public service and beyond, Kurds across the UK continue to make a profound impact and build bridges between our heritage and the country we now proudly call home. Thank you very much, and Newroz awa piroz be. Now I have the great pleasure of inviting some distinguished guests to share a few words with us. Thank you very much to Mr. Speaker of the House and Sir Andrew Mitchell for your words and for your continuous support for the Kurdish community. Now, with great pleasure, I'd like to invite His Excellency, Mr. Shifa Barzani, the General Supervisor of the Kurdistan Diaspora Confederation. Mr. Barzani has worked tirelessly to support Kurds across the world and to strengthen the bonds between the Kurdish diaspora and our homeland. Please, if you would share some words with us.
Honorable ladies and gentlemen, distinguished Mr. Speaker, esteemed members of Parliament, Your Excellencies, ambassadors, and friends. It is a profound honor and privilege to address you on this auspicious occasion as we gather to celebrate the Kurdish New Year, Newroz. Today, we come together to embrace a history that dates back over 2,700 years, symbolizing the spirit of renewal, hope, and unwavering resilience of the Kurdish people. Your presence here today not only honors the Kurdistani community, but also reaffirms a shared commitment to inclusivity, unity, and mutual understanding among nations. We deeply value your solidarity and friendship as they inspire us to continue our journey toward democracy, human rights, rule of law, justice, freedom, and peace. Esteemed ladies and gentlemen, Newroz, in its essence, represents the triumph of light over darkness and freedom over oppression. It commemorates a legendary victory that has become a powerful symbol of Kurdish identity and cultural pride. For generations, our people have carried the torch of resilience, persisting in their pursuit of liberty and human rights despite immense challenges and sacrifices. Therefore, Newroz is not merely a celebration. It is an affirmation of our enduring spirit and commitment to justice. It reminds us of the continuous struggle against oppression and the unbreakable hope that defines our heritage. As we light the fires of Newroz, we rekindle of determination to overcome adversity and achieve a brighter future. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately, the Kurdish struggle from freedom, democracy, peace, coexistence, tolerance, and justice continues. We have endured unimaginable hardship and paid a very heavy price in our quest for these noble ideals. Today, we are faced with ongoing challenges that threaten the very existence of our hard-won achievements in the Middle East. Yet we remain steadfast in our resolve, determined to overcome every obstacle in our path. We stand at the crucial juncture where our fundamental rights and freedom are at stake. We continue advocating for our cause and seeking the support from this great nation to uphold justice and human dignity. Honorable ladies and gentlemen, Newroz is the celebration of the largest stateless nation in the world, the nation of Kurdistan, the nation which is more than 45 million, yet deprived from their own independent states. I am addressing you today as the General Supervisor of the Kurdistani Diaspora at the Barzani headquarters. So please allow me to take this opportunity to speak about the global Kurdistani diaspora community in general and here in the United Kingdom in particular. The Kurdistani diaspora's formation was not by choice, but by necessity, driven by decades of political repression, discrimination, and forced displacement. Today, over 5 million Kurdistani live abroad, including more than 400,000 in UK, which gratefully make it the second largest community in the world after Germany. I am immensely proud of how our community has integrated into the British society while preserving our rich cultural heritage, making significant contributions to society while maintaining strong ties to their Kurdish identity. Our community members have made significant achievements across diverse fields, from politics and public service to academia, healthcare, business, and more. We have politicians, counselors, academics, teachers, lawyers, doctors, nurses, and countless others who have distinguished themselves through dedication and hard work. Kurdish entrepreneurs and business owners are key drivers in sectors like hospitality, retail, and professional services, creating jobs and boosting the UK economy. The community is increasingly active in UK politics. With Kurdish origin MPs, councillors, activists, and campaigners playing important role in both local and national affairs. Despite diverse backgrounds from different parts of Kurdistan, the UK's Kurdish community remain united in its commitment to democracy, human rights, and social justice. From music and literature to film and food, Kurdish cultural contribution enrich British life, promoting greater awareness and appreciation of our history and tradition. Honorable ladies and gentlemen, as representatives of nations and as advocates of human rights and democracy, your continued support and partnership are crucial. We humbly seek your assistance to amplify our voices and advocate for justice, freedom, and human dignity. In these challenging times, we ask for your unwavering commitment to safeguarding the rights of aspiration of the Kurdish people. Together, let us forge a future where hope prevails, where diversity is celebrated, and where justice triumphs over injustice. Let the flame of Newroz burn bright, guiding us toward a prosperous future of all. Happiest Newroz to all, and endless gratitude for your presence and continued support. May this Newroz inspire renewed hope, lasting peace, and solidarity among all communities. Thank you ever so much. Newroztan piroz be, inshallah.
To heart, shoulder to shoulder. That message embodies the strength and the unity in our shared cause. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
So next, we're very fortunate to have leaders from the trade unions. We have so many leaders here with us tonight. TSSA, GMB, ASLEF Union. And I'd like to invite Mr. Gary Smith, please, the General Secretary of the GMB, to share a few words with us. Thank you. Please join me in giving a warm welcome to Mr. Gary Smith.
It is hugely humbling to be here tonight in solidarity with the Kurdish people, representing 500,000 of our members. We have long been committed as a union to solidarity with to the Kurdish people and the Freedom for Oshaland campaign. We are well aware of your struggles. We are well aware of your fight against oppression, imperialism, intolerance and fundamentalism. And we stand with you in absolute solidarity. Thank you very much for having us here tonight, and please be assured of our ongoing commitment as GMB for our support for your struggle. Thank you very much for having us. Thank you.
Very fortunate to have one of the first British-Kurdish members of Parliament with us, Feryal, who has been a strong advocate for our community in Westminster, championing the rights of Kurds and working to ensure that our voices are represented in UK politics. Please join me in welcoming Feryal.
Thank you so much, thank you. Good evening, everyone, and a massive welcome to everyone, lords, ladies, my fellow MPs, of whom there are many in the room, our colleagues from trade unions. A welcome to Newroz celebrations, and Your Excellency, thank you for being here with us again in London to celebrate. It's lovely to see you again. It is such a pleasure to be here with you all tonight and to welcome you all to Parliament as we celebrate Newroz. It would be, it's wonderful, as I say, Newroz is about, sorry, before I go into my speech, I must actually just recognise, so it is it was only a couple of years ago that we started celebrating Newroz in the Speaker's House. So first of all, I'd like to say a massive thank you to Mr. Speaker. But it's through the hard work of our dear friend Ibrahim Dosh and the work that he does that we are able to host this event in Parliament. So can we have a massive round of applause for everyone? Sorry, it's my job to embarrass him at every event, so there we go. Newroz, as it's been said, is about the arrival of spring, a time for renewal, hope, and new beginnings. And after everything we've been through in the recent years, from global challenges to local struggles, that message of hope feels more important than ever. And tonight is about celebration, of course, but it's also about reflecting on the strength of our community, its solidarity, its generosity, and shared purpose that carry us through good times and hard times alike. It has already been mentioned the contribution that the Kurdish community made to every part of society in the UK. But I think we should also, which I want to also recognise, as we've seen, Arya is a great example of that contribution to British society. So thank you for everything that you've done, and all the best, and thank you for your contribution to the NHS. When I was a councillor, where I was a councillor in my previous life, I would say and I've got a fellow former councillor from Hackney here, every street in Hackney was brought to life through the work of the Kurdish community. The Italian restaurant was owned by a Kurd. The amazing restaurants all across Hackney would have a Kurdish stamp on it. Even the Mexican restaurants, including the Turkish restaurants you see up and down the country. Do ask them where from Turkey they are from. But also, as Arya said, the contributions don't just stay to the hospitality sector. It's across the board, including its political life that both myself and one of my predecessors, Nadeem Zuhawi, made contributions to. So I would say I've been lucky to attend many Newroz celebrations over the years across different boroughs and local authorities and cities. But as I said, it feels very special tonight, and especially very meaningful to be here in the Speaker's House. The Kurdish community is integral to this country's rich cultural and social fabric, and I'm glad to see every speaker recognise that. We can't, however, as it's been said, ignore the oppression, the injustice and the violence that too many Kurds still face across the Middle East region. People are still being persecuted for asserting their identity, their culture, and their right to self-determination. Countless lives have been lost, communities uprooted, and futures destroyed by the refusal to acknowledge Kurdish rights. And far too often, the world stays silent. It can't continue to do that, and it must stay and it must speak up for its Kurdish friends. And with the current situation in Turkey, in Syria, in Iran, and in parts of Iraq, we have to stay vigilant and determined. So as we mark the start of the new year and new season, let this be a time to recommit ourselves, to stand together, to speak out and work harder for a better future for all Kurds. And I'll keep fighting for our community and making sure that the voices of Kurds here in the UK and around the world are heard loud and clear in Parliament. Tonight, as we celebrate Newroz, let's also celebrate the strength, resilience and the beauty of Kurdish culture and the amazing contribution that you all make to this country every day. I wish you and your families a very joyful Newroz. Newroz Piroz be.
Parliamentary groups on Kurds. Steve has played a key role in strengthening UK-Kurdistan relations and highlighting the issues that matter most to our community. Steve, we are grateful for your ongoing support. Please.
Thank you. Thank you. I will say very few words because I think the party is getting started at the back. I'm absolutely delighted to be here in this fantastic venue, and thank you. I know Mr. Speaker isn't here now, but thank you to him for continuing to host us here. It's a real honour and privilege. The Kurdish community, has already been said by many speakers, plays a huge role in society across the UK and also in Exeter, where I'm absolutely proud to represent. Businesses across the city are owned by Kurdish families. My fish and chip shop in the city centre, the biggest one, is owned by a Kurdish family, a traditional sort of British cuisine owned and delivered to the Exeter community by a Kurdish family. It's absolutely fantastic. But also we have a growing community who share their culture with us across the city as well. And just this weekend we had the first outdoor Newroz celebration in the city centre, which is absolutely fantastic and well supported by the city. And the celebrations will continue into next weekend as well. So I'll be back and delivering a few more words there, I think, on Sunday. Listen, there's a moment of opportunity in various places around the world, particularly in Syria, and I and members of the APPG keep very close contact with our ministers on that issue going forward to make sure that we get a Syria that's plural, democratic, where the Kurdish community can play the fullest role possible in the formulation of a new nation which is starting. It's a moment of real excitement, I think, in many ways. And so this Newroz, we have even more, I think, to celebrate in terms of renewal, in terms of unity, and in terms of hope as we celebrate the new year. So I'll leave it there. Thank you very much for having me. I look forward to continuing the work with lots of people in this room over the coming parliamentary sessions. And happy Newroz to you all. Thank you.
To invite Mr. John Slinger, Member of Parliament, Chair of APPG Group on Kurdistan region in Iraq, who has played a key role in promoting friendship and understanding between the people and the representative of the Kurdistan region in Iraq and the UK. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Well, thank you so much. It is a deep pleasure to be here this evening with you, and thank you to Mr. Speaker. I'm the newly elected Labour MP for Rugby in Warwickshire in the Midlands, and I'm the chair of the all-party parliamentary group for the Kurdistan region in Iraq. And as Andrew Mitchell made very clear, this is very much a cross-party endeavour. We all care about the Kurds and we all care about the Kurdistan region in Iraq. I am delighted to be here with you to celebrate Newroz, a festival of renewal, of light overcoming darkness, and of new beginnings. And I've seen this with my own eyes when I've had the great privilege of visiting the Kurdistan region 3 times. 20 years ago, I worked for the late, great Right Honourable Anne Clwyd, MP, someone who I know many of you are very fond of. Now, Anne fought for human rights around the world, and she fought for the Kurds around the world, and she continues to inspire me and many other people in this room, I'm sure. I'm an internationalist. I believe that we succeed as a country and we succeed as a world when we work together, when we cooperate, when we break down barriers between countries, and we uphold human rights. I have seen in the Kurdistan region in Iraq a place of hope, a place of tolerance, of dynamism, and of resilience. That region is a natural ally of the UK, of the West, and to all who value freedom and democracy in our world, and indeed internationalism, at a time when those values are more important than ever before. So I'll do all I can as the chair of the APPG on the Kurdistan region in Iraq to strengthen the relationship between the UK and the KRI, the Kurdistan region in Iraq. And I will work with you all as I do that with my colleagues from different parties and from the House of Lords as well. It's a great honour to be with you. Happy Newroz.
We've got 2 more speakers and then we can enjoy drinks and networking. So Could I please now invite Mr. Mick Wellen, General Secretary of ASLEF Trade Union, to share a few words with us. Please.
Good evening. Like most trade union leaders, I don't really need a microphone. So the colleagues at the back, keep speaking, it's not a problem. Absolute honour and pleasure to be here with you once more. It's been in a room with people that want the things that people everywhere want. And I want to echo the words of the people that went before me. Those who talk about the contributions to the people who work in my industry. And on other days, I'm the chair of Hoyle, which is the affiliated trade unions of the Labour Party, which represent 3.5 million people, many of which are Kurds, working in many different areas, helping people work in their communities, giving back and creating opportunities for other people, as we've heard earlier today. But let's be quite simple here. I first became aware of the issue of the Kurdish people in 1999, when the PKK came to an ASLEF conference. And quite simply, we took the view, that internationalist view that you just heard about, that self-determination is the right of people everywhere. The right to live your lives within your own communities and to be part of that wider internationalist community that we have all over the world. And I can say that because there's more of my people outside Ireland than there are in Ireland itself. And it is what we give back and what we do. But at the heart of everything is the right of everybody to have a land, a culture, a freedom that respects everybody, that gives everybody they want to do. So I look forward not just to celebrating New Year here, but in the future, celebrating New Year in a Kurdish land of that self-determination, living in peace. Thank you for listening.
And now, with great honour and privilege, I'm delighted to welcome Mr. Asoz Rashid Barzani, CEO of IQ Group. Asoz is a successful entrepreneur who has shown how Kurdish talent and hard work contributes to the UK's economy and society. His leadership serves as an inspiration to many Kurds, young Kurds especially, looking to succeed in business, and I'm one of them. Asoz, please welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, dear distinguished guests, Ibrahim. Let's be honest, it's never a Kurdish event if the back is completely oblivious to what's happening in the front. But one good thing is no phones have gone off yet, which is a plus. Being the last speaker is usually terrible because all the good stuff's been said and everyone's bored, so I'll keep it very brief. Like many other speakers have said before, such is the nature of our history is that we've had to become integral parts of nation states that are not necessarily our own. Iraq, Turkey, Syria, Iran, countries across Europe and the West. We have become the backbone in many of these countries. 20 years ago...
Mike, it's not working.
That's not on me. It's cut? Yeah. Where was I? So, we have become the backbone in many of these countries. It's not working? No? So, do I scream? Do I shout?
Yes,
yeah?
please.
Okay.
Yes, please.
All right. So, I'll go back to the beginning. Like many speakers have said before, such is the nature of our history. We've had to become integral parts of states that are not necessarily our own. Iraq, Turkey, Syria, Iran, the UK, all across Europe and the West. We have become the backbone of many of these countries. And I'm happy to see a growing and strong support for the Kurdish community in these countries. But sometimes that support has not always been there or has been very fragile. There's been times of need, recent times of need, where our friends have turned their backs to us or are simply monitoring the situation. Our brothers in Rojava are still struggling with ISIS. It's not a solved issue. But please remember that in a world lacking in tolerance at the moment, unity is our strength while we sail through these uncharted waters. Again, thank you very much, and please, enjoy the rest of the evening.
For our community. Thank you again for all our sponsors and organizers for making this happen. I'd like to introduce our musician now. He's a Syrian Kurdish musician, Salah Amr, who came all the way from Vienna to be with us tonight and to celebrate Nowroz with us. We are grateful to have you, Salah. Please join us.
Thank you. It's a big honor to be with you here from Vienna. I was going to speak, I will just play music for you. I will ask you to sing with me in Nowroz we normally celebrate. And I will only add one thing. We Kurds think that Kurds has no friend but the mountains. But basically when we see such a lot of people that are supporting us, we just feel that it's great to have such a wonderful friends that supporting us. Recently, 2 months ago, I had a concert in the European Parliament. It was also same amazing people. Okay, so please sing with me together. We will sing together for Nowroz, for Kurdistan. ولاتي ما كردستان اجي ومسكني ما كردانا ولا اشمرر حوجانا كرد حمو برانا ولاتي ما كردستان اجي ومسكني ما كردانا ولا اشمرر حوجانا كرد حمو برانا جي ومسكني ما كردانا تمام باغا وبستانا ولا تقولي قوليستانا كرد حمو برانا بهبرة ولا تما كردستانا جي ومسكني ما كردانا ولا تشمرر حوجانا كرد حمو برانا كردستانا ما زينتا جباتي وفر حرماتا تمام قدر وقيماتا ولا تما جناتا together ولا تما كردستانا جي ومسكني ما كردانا ولا تشمرر حوجانا كرد حمو برانا آيلي قولي قلامني شيرين البرد ليمني آيلي قولي قلامني شيرين البرد ليمني أزقولي نادم مالي دني وسرقولي تيمتوشتني أزقولي نادم مالي دني وسرقولي تيمتوشتني قولي كسكوس وزراني شانا ليلي سرب هفرة قولي كسكوس وزراني شانا ليلي سرا ايدي رنگ سبي جوهرا شيرينو بايمانا مني ايدي رنگ سبي جوهرا شيرينو بايمانا مني زور درد بي از گل نادم عزیزندو بندا بادم زور درد بی از گل نادم عزیزندو بندا بادم از کلا و سرارادم آزاد بکم مجلامنیم از کلا و سرارادم آزاد بشورش رامنیم آیله گله گلامنی شیرین البرد لیمنی آیله گله گلامنی شیرین البرد لیمنی از گل نادم مال دینی و سر گل تیم کشتنی. Thank you. Ciao.